Yo people, and we're back with another video, and today we're going to be talking about the Arsenal squad. And is the Arsenal squad too small? Let's find out. We'll talk about it, but before that, you know what to do. Subscribe. Come on, man. Trying to grow the community, man. Trying to hit 1k so we can start streaming, and then you get to see me talk all the time. You know you want it. Let's make it happen. And while you're there, like the video, drop a comment. Algorithm gang, it helps out. Get the content to all the beautiful people in the world. Alright, so I'm just going to go through, the Arsenal squad. I'm going to look at the goalkeepers, defenders, midfielders and forwards, and we're going to talk about where the gaps are and is the Arsenal squad too small? I guess just off the top of my head, and just as like just to set the lay of the land, I think our squad is too small. But let's go into it. So, goalkeepers, yeah. So we've got David Raya, who's our number one. We've got Neto, I think his name's Norbert Neto, who's our number two. And we've got Tommy Setford, who's our third goalkeeper, the young buck. So, goalkeepers, I think, is an area we're cool. I think we're good. David Raya is an excellent number one. Started off the season great. Norbert Neto is an amazing number two. Used to the brand of football that we play, good with the ball at his feet, good goalkeeping option. And Tommy Setford came from the Ajax under 18s. I believe he was their captain, and he plays for the youth team for England as well. He's someone who's coming early enough. We're going to mould him into the similar type of keeper as Raya. We're cool there. We're good. We got a good blend of quality, of age, and of experience. Cool. And just to throw in there, Raya got the Golden Glove last season. Safe. So, defenders. We've got William Saliba, Kieran Tierney, Ben White, Gabriel Magalhaes, Yuri Timber, Jakub Kiwior, Takehiro Tomiyasu, Alexander Zinchenko, and Ricardo Calafiori. Yeah? So, defenders is where we have our most depth. Our defense, perfect. We don't need to sign any more players. I swear down, if we go into January, or the summer, signing defenders without offloading defenders, I'm going to go mad. Because what more do you need, If you look at it, cool. So at left back, we've got Alexander Zinchenko and Yuri Timber and Calafiori and Tierney, In my mind, you got Yuri Timber and Alexander Zinchenko that are mainly the inverted type. You've got Ricardo Calafiori and Tierney that are mainly the overlapping left back, more traditional. And I mean, don't get me wrong, Yuri Timber is really good at defending, but I guess you would have to say that Tierney and Calafiori are probably better at defending. Timber's still good, but I do think they're better. And with Ricardo Calafiori, he can also play the inverted type. So, left back, cool. Centre backs, I don't need to say anything. I actually just don't even need to say anything. Actually, to throw it in there, Tomiyasu can also play left back. Saliba, Gabriel, best partnership in the league. Tomiyasu, excellent cover at centre back. Jakub Kiwior, good cover at centre back. And even Ben White can play at centre back. He's not that great there, but he can do a job. Yeah? That centre back's covered. Right back. Ben White, team of the season last year, best right back in the Prem. I don't think anyone can doubt his quality and his ability to link up with Saka and Ødegaard. He's got that right hand side on smash, Yuri Timber can play right back. Again, inverted. Ben White is more of the traditional right back. He likes to overlap. He likes to get into the box. He likes to get them touchline crosses. However, Ben White can also play inverted. You know what I mean? And wait, I'm just checking. I believe. And also Tomiyasu can play right back. Look, Tomiyasu, I know he's got his injury problems, but Tomiyasu is the one defender we have that can play right back, centre back, and left back. Actually, no, Timber can play right back, centre back, and left back. I forgot to add Timber as an option at centre back as well. It's crazy. I see our defense is insane. Insane in the membrane. So, defense, we're cool. We're actually good. Yeah. And I mean, potentially you could argue maybe Zinchenko goes in the summer, but I thought he would go this summer. He didn't go. You never know, innit? Cool. Midfielders, yeah. We've got Partey, Erdegaard, Jorginho, Havertz. In the Premier League website, he's classed as a midfielder. We did sign him as a midfielder. He can play midfield. But I will count him as a forward as well, because I know he plays number 9 for us as well. Declan Rice, Miles Lewis Skelly, Ethan Wanyeri, Mikel Moreno, and Salah Adin Ulad Mhand. I said that like a boss. So, even though we have a lot of midfielders, yeah, I don't think we're as strong in midfield outside of our first 11. Well, I say first 11, outside of our first team. And I think now that we're seeing this now, in it, I think the way that our midfield actually becomes stronger is, I think, I see it's so hard to say because I was gonna say having a backup for Rice, but we do Moreno. It's just unfortunate that he's on a red card and Moreno's injured. Um, I think the way our midfield becomes stronger and we become blessed in the midfield is if we have a like for like replacement for Erdegaard. I know there's Ethan Wanyeri, but he's 17. Do you know what I mean? I'm not doubting his technical ability. I'm not doubting his like potential, any of that. He's a baller. But the stuff that we're fighting for, we need somebody else, right? If Partey comes out the team, Jorginho can do a job, but Jorginho he himself he can't play a consistent run of games, and I feel like at this point he's just there for experience. I think he's more there to be like another leader in the team, to help coach the young bucks. I can imagine that he's probably next season gonna move into a coaching role. I wouldn't be surprised if he retired at the end of the season, or maybe even potentially go back to Italy. Who knows? But I do think his playing days are coming to an end. Havertz can play the left 8. Havertz can play the 10. People don't like him. I like him. But I'm not really here for that. You can have your say. I don't really care. And Miles Lewis Skelly, although in pre-season he was deployed as an inverted left back, he is by trade a midfielder. So I would imagine he is potentially being geared up to be in a few years our 6. This is what I think, to be honest. Like I realistically, that's where I see Miles Lewis Skelly in the long run. But one thing that we also need to consider is Zinchenko can play in the midfield. He is by trade a midfielder, and Yuri and Timber can do a job at the 6. I've also heard that potentially Calafiori can play the 6 as well. So I think in terms of quality, it does drop off quite a bit once you come away from the first team setup, which would be Rice, Partey, and Erdegaard. Actually, some would argue Rice, Moreno, and Erdegaard, but once you get away from them 4, it does drop off. I have to be completely honest. I do have to be completely honest. And you know what? Pre-season, he was wavy. Salah. I can't lie. Salah-Eddin, he was wavy. And he could even be someone that is kind of working his way towards being a 10 for us as well. So I think from a youth perspective, we've got a lot coming through. But I do think that we need maybe 1 or 2 signings in the midfield just to bulk it up. We do need to start preparing for Partey leaving. His contract ends at the end of the season. Like I said, Jorginho on his way out the door. And we do need that Erdegaard like-for-like replacement. So you know what? Maybe even 2 or 3 in the midfield. I can't lie. Now that I think about it, maybe even 2 or 3. Do you know what it is? Yeah, in this day and age, your midfield is so important, so important, and especially for how we like to play, our midfield is crucial. And I mean, obviously, over the next month or so, we're gonna learn a lot about our midfield because Erdegaard's not gonna be there. But if we run into, I don't know, another scenario of Rice being suspended, because he's only 2 yellow cards away from another suspension. So, and Partey, you just never know. You just never know. I know he's played every game so far this season, but you just never know. Like, based off of the last few seasons, he's been injured quite a lot. So you just never know. And I feel like the load is going to be even more intensive on him because Rice is not there. So he's actually going to have to move about a lot more than what he's used to because Rice isn't there in the North London derby specifically. So yeah, midfield, it does need a lot of upgrading. Now forwards, by the way, okay, we're going to talk. So we've got Saka, we've got Jesus, we've got Martinelli, we've got Trossard, we've got Sterling, and we've got Havertz. Yeah. So to cover 3 positions, we've got 6 people. So look, Saka can play right wing and he can play left wing. Cool. Sterling can play right wing, left wing, and he can play the false 9. Not great, but he can play it. Jesus can play the false 9, can play right wing. Martinelli can play left wing, right wing, number 9. Not so great in the right wing and the number 9, but he can do it. Trossard can play right wing, can play left wing, can play the 9 and false 9. But we know the problem with Trossard is when he starts, not as great as when he comes off the bench, right? And then you got Havertz, who can play the number 9 and the false 9. So we need major additions in the forward line. We need, bearing in mind, Sterling's only on a season-long loan, so that's one to keep in mind as well. We need, and I've been screaming this for years, we need someone who can challenge Saka on the right wing. Challenge him. I don't mean someone that, good enough to play and can rotate. No, we need someone who Saka's going to look at and be like, okay, if I am not on my game, this guy can actually take my spot. We don't have that currently. Do you know what I mean? We just don't have it. We need a left winger, who don't get me wrong, Sterling can fill the gap for this season, but future proofing, we need a left winger of quality. Of absolute quality. Because Martinelli, he's not doing it right now. Trossard, only really doing it when he comes off the bench. So it's actually depressing, I can't lie. And in the number 9, we all know it. And for different reasons. My reasoning is different to a lot of Arsenal fans. We need another 9. And the reason why we need another 9 is because we need a different option. Yeah? We need that traditional number 9. Someone who you give them the ball in and around the box, they're going to shoot, more time they'll score. This is what we need. Yeah, someone that can, I guess, give Arteta that kind of, do I play Havertz or, do you know what I mean? Or do I put him somewhere else or is he on the bench? Like, we need that. We don't have that currently. Jesus, to me, he's too similar to Havertz in the sense that he prefers to create and pass than to put the ball in the back of the net. He's not clinical by any stretch of the imagination. Obviously, we'll see this season if he does a lot better, but you see, it's crazy. It's actually crazy. So, I don't know if anyone from Arsenal is going to watch this. But if you do, it's It's actually so simple. It's actually so simple, yeah. At the end of this season, yeah, you either let Martinelli go or let Trossard go to generate some funds. One of the two, yeah. Maybe some would argue both, but for me, one of the two. I would prefer to keep Martinelli because his ceiling is higher because he's younger. But if he goes, then he goes in it. Because I understand because Trossard is the better player. And all you do is you sign Isak and you sign Gyökeres. You just sign both of them. If you sign Isak and Gyökeres, if in the if in let's just say in January you go, okay, you test Newcastle. Okay, Newcastle, here's 100 million. Here's 100 million for Isak. Here's 100 million. What are you saying? Because Newcastle are in a position where they can't upgrade their squad really because they can't actually they can't spend all the money they have because of I think it's is it FFP? It's FFP or PSR. One of them stops them from spending as much as they have because they don't generate revenue. But if they take 100 million for Isak, changes. Or it could even be that, do you know what? We respect that 100 million bid, but what are you saying? 100 million with 20 million add-ons in bonuses. Wrap that up quickly, get Isak in the team, and then in the summer you go, yo, Lisbon, we don't even really want to chat to you. We're just going to do the release clause. And then it's solved. Problem solved. Do you know what I mean? And then I will look at the Arsenal squad, yeah, and be like, we win the league. If Isak and Gyökeres come into this squad, I will every season, yeah, we win the league. Imagine, just hear me out. Imagine a front three of Saka, Gyökeres, and Isak. By the way, there is no better front three in world football, and I will stand on that hill until the day that I die. So yeah, the Arsenal squad overall is small in terms of quality. I don't think it's small in terms of personnel because we have personnel. It would be nice to have more, but we do have personnel. We have numbers. But in terms of quality, it's small. It's undeniable. It's small. But we're not too far away from having the perfectly balanced squad. So I think all it will take is 2 more transfer windows, and then we're there. Obviously, depending on what the club does, but 2 more transfer windows, and we are there. Sorry, just back to the forwards. Sign Nico Williams as well, because we need someone that can rival Saka. Arsenal fans, just imagine, yeah, if we go into next season, yeah, and in our forwards we have Saka, Nico Williams, Isak, Gyökeres, Havertz, Trossard, Martinelli, yo. And then imagine, yeah, if Sterling has a good season this season, then we go, you know what, let's just grab Sterling on the cheap. Sterling. Then that's 8 players. Sorry, Jesus as well. That'll be 9 players to cover 3 positions in 4 competitions. I mean, I'm not a, you know what I mean? I'm not a manager or nothing, but that sounds effing amazing. It does, right? So yeah. Obviously, let's see how the squad does over the next few months. I'm not gonna write anything off, but we do have a lot to prove. We are still heavily reliant on a few players doing more than others, i.e. Saka and Havertz. We do need a lot more players to step up, and yeah, let's see how it goes. So you know what to do. In the comments below, let me know what you think about the size of the squad. Let me know what you think about the quality of the squad. Do you think we have the depth? Do you think we're struggling? All of that. Who would you sign? Who do you think comes into Arsenal and improves the squad just in general? And what do you think our club's actions should be in January transfer window? Been a pleasure. If you've made it this far, subscribe. It means you like me. You know what I mean? If you can, drop a like and a comment. Because again, algorithm gang. And yeah, I'll catch you next time. Peace.